This is the complete black seed oil guide with 15 science-backed benefits and the exact protocol to get every one of them. If you want to lower inflammation, protect your heart, sharpen your memory, and give your immune system real support, you need to see what the science actually says. I went through more than 1,000 peer-reviewed studies on this one plant, so you don't have to. And here's what's wild. Most people using this oil are doing it completely wrong and missing most of the benefits because of one simple mistake. So here are 15 science-backed benefits of black seed oil, and at the end, the exact protocol that makes every single one of them work. But before the benefits, you need to understand one thing first. Everything on this list works through the same compound. Once you understand what it does, the rest will make complete sense. The compound that runs everything. The compound is called thymoquinone, TQ for short. Think of it as the master switch inside the oil, one molecule that simultaneously signals your blood vessels, your brain, your immune cells, your joints, your lungs, and your skin, not sequentially, all at once. Over 1,000 peer-reviewed studies confirm its action across cardiovascular disease, cognitive decline, metabolic disorder, and antimicrobial resistance. One compound, every benefit on this list runs through it. And the reason most people see no results, poor quality oil with thymoquinone destroyed before the bottle was sealed, is exactly what the protocol at the end will fix. The first benefit is also the reason every other benefit on this list works. Something building silently inside most people right now. No pain, no warning, connected to almost every chronic disease your doctor is watching for. Number 1. Inflammation, the fire that won't turn off. Most people think inflammation means a swollen ankle. They are wrong. Chronic inflammation is silent. It runs in blood vessel walls, brain tissue, and gut lining. No signal, no pain. It builds quietly while you feel perfectly normal. Researchers have linked it to cardiovascular disease, type 2 diabetes, Alzheimer's, certain cancers, and accelerated aging. The same fire, different rooms. Thymoquinone suppresses COX-1 and COX-2, the exact same enzymes ibuprofen targets. The difference, regular ibuprofen use causes stomach damage and kidney strain. Research on thymoquinone shows no trade-off. Multiple randomized controlled trials confirm significant drops in CRP and TNF-alpha, the primary inflammation markers physicians use to track systemic damage. This is not a bonus. This is the mechanism behind everything else on this list. What happens when that fire burns near your blood vessels for years? You get the result that kills more people than any other condition, and most never felt a single symptom. Number 2, blood pressure, the silent killer. High blood pressure is called the silent killer for one reason. It doesn't hurt. You feel fine. Your arteries absorb excess pressure with every single beat. Your heart works harder than it should. You have no idea. A meta-analysis of 11 randomized controlled trials covering 860 participants showed consistent, significant reductions in both systolic and diastolic blood pressure. Average treatment duration, 8.3 weeks. Highest baseline readings saw the biggest drops. Replicated across multiple countries and research teams. 11 independent trials, same direction in all of them. That is not noise. That is a signal. Talk to your doctor before adjusting any blood pressure medication. This doesn't replace prescription treatment. But those numbers make it worth the conversation. Those arteries carry blood to something most people never think about protecting. 98 million Americans running a critical system on the wrong settings, and 8 out of 10 don't know it. Number 3, blood sugar, the broken fuel gauge. 98 million American adults have prediabetes right now. 8 out of 10 of them don't know it. The damage doesn't wait for diagnosis. It starts building years before any test catches it. Insulin tells your cells to absorb glucose. In insulin resistance, the stage before diabetes, that signal gets ignored. More insulin produced. Cells still don't respond. Glucose builds. Damage accumulates everywhere. Black seed supplementation showed significant reductions in fasting blood glucose and HbA1c. The 3-month blood sugar average. Results appeared within 8 weeks. If you have a fasting glucose number, check it before you start. So you have a real comparison when the 8-week mark arrives. But blood sugar damage doesn't stay in the blood. Something your doctor cannot replace. Something losing function so slowly, most people don't notice until it's already gone. Number 4, brain and memory. It crosses into your skull. This is the benefit that surprised me most. Thymoquinone crosses the blood-brain barrier. Most compounds cannot do that. The brain has a strict checkpoint blocking almost everything from entering directly. Thymoquinone gets through. Once inside, it neutralizes oxidative stress and reduces neuroinflammation, the same chronic inflammation driving cognitive decline. 40 elderly volunteers. One group took 500 milligrams of black seed twice daily for 9 weeks. Result: significant improvements in logical memory, attention tracking, and processing speed. Placebo group, no change. Researchers concluded it should be considered for prevention of cognitive decline. Brain fog is often not tiredness. It is inflammation inside your skull, and this is one of the very few natural compounds that can reach it. But it doesn't stop at memory. What inflammation does to the brain also affects something most people treat as a separate issue, one most doctors never connect to it. Number 5, anxiety and mood, the overlooked root cause. Psychiatry now has a well-established connection between chronic inflammation and anxiety and depression. Not fringe theory, peer-reviewed, replicated, mainstream research. Inflammatory markers are consistently elevated in people with clinical anxiety and depression. Fix the inflammation. Mood often improves as a direct downstream effect. 4 weeks of daily black seed supplementation in healthy male volunteers. Measurably reduced anxiety scores, stabilized mood, and improved cognitive performance versus placebo. Animal studies have also shown anxiolytic effects through GABA receptor modulation. This is not a replacement for mental health treatment, but for anyone whose anxiety or low mood has never had a clear physical explanation, this changes the question you should be asking. Now carry that same anti-inflammatory action to a different system entirely, one most people assume they have no control over, where the research produced a result most doctors had no explanation for.
Number 6, immune system, the smart shield. There is a critical difference between boosting your immune system and regulating it. Most immune supplements do the first. Black seed oil does the second, and that distinction matters enormously. A boosted immune system that is already misfiring, attacking your own tissue, becomes more dangerous when pushed further. A regulated immune system defends when it should, calms when it should, and knows the difference. 8 weeks of supplementation produced measurable increases in CD4+ and CD8+ T cells and natural killer cell activity, while simultaneously reducing the inflammatory overreaction that drives autoimmune flares. It supports what needs supporting. It calms what needs calming. At the same time, if you have any autoimmune diagnosis, speak with your doctor before starting. That mechanism requires monitoring. Now take that regulatory effect to the system that fails 300 million people every day, and a result in controlled trials that matched something nobody expected it to compete against. Number 7, lungs and breathing, open the airway. 300 million people worldwide live with asthma. For most of them, every treatment option comes with a side effect list. When asthma strikes, smooth muscle around the bronchial tubes tightens. The lining swells from a histamine response. The airway narrows. Thymoquinone relaxes that smooth muscle and suppresses the histamine response at the source. Randomized controlled trials over 3 months showed significant improvements in lung function and reduced frequency of asthma attacks versus placebo. The same mechanism has been documented for seasonal allergies, chronic sinus inflammation, and post-viral respiratory difficulty. Not always the headline benefit. For the people who need it, it changes daily life. Now apply what you know about inflammation to the reason most diets fail. Not willpower, not calories. A broken biological signal telling your brain you're still hungry, when your body has more than enough fuel. Number 8. Weight and metabolism. The broken hunger signal. Most weight loss supplements try to silence hunger. Black seed oil tries to fix why you're hungry in the first place. There is a hormone called leptin. Its job is to tell your brain you've had enough. When chronic inflammation builds over years, leptin stops working. Your brain keeps receiving a still hungry signal even when your body has more than enough stored fuel. You cannot override that with discipline. Willpower is not a fix for a broken sensor. Significant reductions in BM1, waist circumference, and body weight versus placebo. No severe adverse effects reported. If every diet has eventually failed, ask yourself whether you've ever addressed the inflammation driving the hunger signal. That same inflammatory damage reaches somewhere most people never think about. A system filtering your blood every hour of every day, one most people never consider until it fails. Number 9. Cholesterol, the dirty river. Cholesterol is not the enemy. Think of it like traffic on a river. HDL is the cleanup boat. LDL is slow-moving debris clogging the current. The problem is not the river, it is the imbalance. Significant reductions in total cholesterol, LDL, and triglycerides versus placebo. Oil form showed greater effects than powder. 17 trials, same direction in all of them. These changes don't look dramatic at week 8. Sustained over years, they compound into a meaningfully cleaner cardiovascular system. Long game. Most people quit before they see the score. Now, to a benefit connecting everything you've heard to a system filtering 200 liters of blood every single day. A system failing quietly, long before any blood panel catches it. Number 10. Liver and kidneys. The overwhelmed filters. Your liver is your body's filter. Every medication, every drink, every food additive, every environmental chemical gets routed through it. Most people run that filter for decades and never once think about it. A filter you never maintain eventually stops filtering correctly. Multiple controlled trials confirmed hepatoprotective properties. Liver enzyme levels, direct markers of liver stress, drop significantly versus control. Separate research documented renoprotective effects, with thymoquinone reducing oxidative damage to kidney tissue before it destroys filtering cells. If you take any regular medication, drink occasionally, or eat a typical Western diet, your liver is working overtime right now. This is the benefit most people skip. It is also the one working hardest every day. Now to a benefit that surprises most people the first time they hear it. A controlled study compared black seed oil directly against a pharmaceutical. Head to head. The result was not what anyone expected. Number 11. Skin. It matched a steroid cream. A controlled dermatology study compared topical black seed oil against hydrocortisone cream for eczema treatment. Black seed oil performed comparably to hydrocortisone, without skin thinning, without hormonal disruption, without the dependency cycle that comes with long-term steroid use. Thymoquinone works from 2 directions. Internally, it reduces the immune overreaction driving eczema and psoriasis flares. Topically, it soothes the skin directly, treating cause and symptom at the same time, which is why it can match something as aggressive as a steroid cream. Apply it topically to problem areas. Take it internally for the systemic effect. Use both together. That is when the research results replicate. Now to a benefit almost nobody connects to this oil, what pharma companies have spent billions trying to crack, and consistently failed. Number 12. Antibacterial/MRSA, the superbug fighter, MRSA, methicillin-resistant Staphylococcus aureus, the superbug that kills tens of thousands in hospitals every year, the one that has developed resistance to most modern antibiotics. Researchers tested 144 strains, most already resistant to multiple antibiotics. Result? 97 out of 144 inhibited by black cumin oil. A second study tested every MRSA strain they could obtain against Nigella sativa extract, Every single one was sensitive. 97 out of 144 drug-resistant strains, inhibited by a seed. This does not mean black seed oil replaces antibiotics in a serious infection, but when a compound from a plant inhibits bacteria that modern medicine is spending billions to fight, that tells you something real about what thymoquinone is capable of. Now to a benefit almost nobody discusses, one that directly affects men. The research most health channels skip. The men who need it most have no idea it exists. Number 13. Male fertility, the overlooked fix. Oxidative stress is one of the primary causes of sperm DNA damage. Thymoquinone is a powerful antioxidant that reaches reproductive tissue directly, neutralizing the oxidative load that degrades sperm quality over time. Men with abnormal sperm parameters. Black seed oil group, significant improvements in sperm motility, morphology, and volume versus placebo. Most men facing fertility challenges are told to reduce stress and weight. There is a measurable biological lever here, tested, published, and ignored by most health channels. Now to a benefit affecting more people over 50 than almost anything else on this list. The same joint pain most people accept as aging, that has a biological mechanism and a measurable fix. Number 14. Joint pain and arthritis. The fire in your joints. Knees that make standing up a deliberate act. Morning stiffness that takes an hour to shake. Hips aching on stairs, ankles locking after sitting. Most people call it getting older. It isn't. It is the same chronic fire from Benefit 1, burning inside cartilage and synovial tissue. The standard answer is NSAIDs. Take them long enough and your gut pays the price. Stomach lining damage, kidney strain, a system borrowing from somewhere else to silence a signal it never fixed. Nigella sativa extract produced significant reductions in joint pain scores and morning stiffness versus rheumatoid and osteoarthritis patients. CRP and TNF-alpha dropped at levels comparable to prescription anti-inflammatories, without the gastrointestinal damage. Thymoquinone doesn't pick a system. It runs wherever the fire is burning. For most people over 50, the joints are exactly where it burns hardest. And now to the benefit requiring the most careful handling on this entire list. One where bad information becomes genuinely dangerous, and where most content gets this exactly wrong. Number 15. Cancer research. The honest truth, not the hype. I want to be very careful here. This is where real science gets buried. Overhyped to sell something, or dismissed because it's uncomfortable to handle honestly. Here is what the research actually says. Multiple laboratory studies found thymoquinone triggers apoptosis in cancer cell lines including breast, colon, lung, and prostate. Animal models showed up to 52% tumor reduction. A 2021 systematic review found thymoquinone may enhance chemotherapy sensitivity. Most research is in cell lines and animal models. Human clinical cancer trials remain limited. Black seed oil does not cure cancer. If anyone close to you is in treatment, do not reduce or replace any medical treatment for any supplement. The active compound has real, documented anti-tumor biological activity that serious researchers are actively investigating. The honest truth is compelling enough without exaggerating it. Here is why most people get zero results, even with the right supplement. The bottle almost doesn't matter if you get this wrong. The protocol. Those are 15 benefits, all peer-reviewed, all real. Now here is why most people get zero results from this supplement, the quality problem. There is no regulation requiring black seed oil to contain any specific thymoquinone. Lab tests have found many products contain almost none of the active compound. Heat extracted, old stock, no third-party testing. Look for cold-pressed only. Brands that publish thymoquinone percentage, 1 to 3% is the standard. The cheapest option is almost always the least effective. Dosage. Most clinical trials used 1 to 2.5 milliliters daily. A quarter to half a teaspoon with food. Start with a quarter teaspoon once daily for 2 weeks. After 2 weeks, move to twice daily. By week 4, go to half a teaspoon twice daily. The clinical ceiling. Always with food. Never heat it. Heat destroys the thymoquinone. Straight or mixed with raw honey. When will you feel something? Weeks 1 and 2, slightly less bloating, steadier energy, sleep that feels more restful. The early anti-inflammatory response working quietly. Weeks 3 and 4, blood pressure and blood sugar numbers begin shifting, only if you tracked a baseline on day 1. The bigger results, cholesterol, cognition, immunity, joints, arrive at weeks 8 through 12. Most people quit at week 2 and restart the clock. That is the mistake. Who should use caution or avoid? Pregnancy. Hard stop. Thymoquinone has documented uterine-stimulating properties. Do not take during pregnancy. Blood thinners. Thymoquinone has mild anticoagulant properties. Speak with your doctor before starting. Blood pressure or diabetes medication. This oil genuinely works on both. Combined with medication, it can push numbers lower than expected. Monitor closely and coordinate with your doctor. Autoimmune conditions. Inform your doctor before starting. The immune-modulating properties require monitoring. Those were 15 science-backed benefits of black seed oil, every single one confirmed in peer-reviewed research, and the exact protocol that makes all of them actually work. But knowing all 15 benefits still won't protect you from the mistake that's silently destroying the results of most people who try this oil. And that mistake is this. The correct dose of the wrong product delivers 0 results, and most people never figure out why it isn't working. If you want to know exactly what to look for on the label before you buy anything, watch this next. The 10 biggest black seed oil benefits you've been missing for years.